let's see if this works.
All right.
So DLive is the winner of
Yes,
this.
it says.
God.
What?
DLive is definitely the winner. How are we gonna do this now? Because if I do it manually on YouTube, I don't know if that's gonna be the same thing. Or no. Not really, right? Like it wouldn't make any sense if I'm using Restream.
Pretty much.
You know, the one day where I'm like, hey, I want to basically do a triple threat, it doesn't work. Why does this happen? YouTube, why? Why does this happen?
I wish I could tell you, but you might have to revisit that.
All right, so give me a second here so I could tell people on Twitter, you know, where they can find me at, because it doesn't make sense and it's not even playing on DLive at the moment. Why are you not playing on DLive? Because I didn't press play? It's because I
Is
didn't
that
press
the
play. Okay, Vortex said for some reason YouTube loves changing things. Not sure why. Yep. That's so true. Oh my god, I'm so bummed out. This always happens. God. Always happens. Okay. Damn it. Give me 1 second here, guys. Gonna have to put out a video statement for like tomorrow. Be like, hey guys, I wasn't lying to you. You know, I tried using Restream. We'll have some fun with DLive. I haven't had fun with DLive in a while. Did that sound kind of dirty? Because your laughter
it could be whatever you would like it to be.
Because your laughter sounded like that.
Oh no, I got a pretty evil laugh.
Yeah, sometimes you do. You really do have an evil laugh.
Sometimes I you know, envy Robert's laugh because it's
You do?
like one of those like, you know, kind of, it's kind of one of those like dumb innocent laughs, you know what I mean?
That's a first. Like, you're the only person I know that envies his laugh.
It's like one of those dumb innocent like laughters. It's like, you know, that fool you just kind of want to hate but can't because, like, you know, whatever. But like, you know, it's like I guess we're just gonna have to let it go.
Well, I'm tagging YouTube in this freaking tweet.
All right.
So
if
what
you guys
you...
are wondering what I'm doing on my stream right now, chat, I'm just doing a Photoshop while X button. You know, while we're doing the podcast and stuff like that, I'm just going to.
That's fine, dude. You can do that. Oh, there's another DLiver who followed me, Charlie Baum. This is the greatest beginning ever, and this always happens. Always happens. This is the greatest beginning ever.
Okay, let's put that there for now. Move that over. Move this over here. Let's see how they do this meme. What font did they use?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to make a video tomorrow about it.
Nani?
They'll understand with the video.
I hope so.
We hope. At least you know you're putting out a statement.
Yeah, this is why it's taking so long. All right, I think that's about it. Guess we have to do an official, because I just got a new subscriber. We're up to 18.
Aww.
Yes.
God, we're up to 18. Damn you, YouTube. I'm gonna probably say the same
Why did you have
thing.
to do it?
Huh?
So why did YouTube have to betray you?
I don't
Top 10
know.
anime betrayals, guys. Top 10 anime betrayals.
Is this one of them?
Probably.
Yeah. Yes, this is one of them.
All right, cool. So this is gonna be like super fun because we're on D Live doing this. It's the first time. This is episode 5 actually. Thank you to Shadow Singer for not only following Ravage Lands but also for donating 4 lemons, and also Vortex. Thank you once again for coming back and donating an extra 4 lemons. I highly appreciate every follower that we have and every follower that gives us donations. So, everyone, welcome to the Square Circle podcast. This is a first for D Live. I am your host, Marie Shadows. I am joined on the podcast by 2 other D Livers, which is Epic and also Geo.
Hello.
What's up?
So, I don't know. Well, I mean, just so you know, the Square Circle podcast started back in October. Why the hell am I sounding like that now? I know. What the fuck? This is gonna be like the greatest number 5 episode ever in the history of the Square Circle podcast. I fucking swear, man.
You probably have a
just
stream open with volume up.
I muted the stream so I could see myself, unless oh no, okay, so that's YouTube is not working, so out of here, YouTube. Okay, it went away. It went away. Awesome. Thank you, Shadow Singer, for another 3 lemons. I'm never gonna get through this freaking intro.
You will.
This is gonna be the best episode of the year, closing out the year. It will be. Anyway, so the Square Circle podcast started back in October after us watching Hell in a Cell, and I got extremely upset at the ending. So I was like, let's just start this podcast. And I know a bunch of people that are passionate about wrestling, just as passionate as I am, and we're just here to share our opinions and hopefully not argue over trivial things like how wrestling Twitter does. And we'll definitely be referencing a lot of that. For today, it was supposed to be a triple threat, meaning that it was supposed to be YouTube, D Live, and LinkedIn on Restream, but YouTube is messing up, and D Live is the only one that's working. And it's happening again. I have no idea why. Let me just put that down. So we're here on D Live, and I'm glad that you guys are here to join us to talk about wrestling. If you don't know, the Square Circle podcast is on anchor.fm. If you guys have an account there, make sure to follow us. We're also on Spotify, on Apple, on Google, and all major podcast outlets. It'll be great if you follow us there and also follow us on YouTube. Oh, well, Shadow Singer, you get to learn about wrestling. All right, so let's just start into our topics. We will be opening up with NXT because AEW is going to take a while, and I think this is just in like an AEW pay-per-view over thing. So, Epic, you saw NXT. Why don't you start us off?
team in the world. Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows. So it just showed them laying out the Undisputed Era in the back.
Yeah. Which, by the way, did you see how Gallows threw it's Bobby Fish, right, into the damn thing, and like somehow blood came out, or as people are on the
I think
internet saying,
it was
ketchup.
before it happened. I think it was before it happened. I noticed that too. I saw something red. It might have been some ketchup because his back catering table, or it might have been blood. I don't think it was blood because I didn't see anybody busted wide open,
Yeah, it was weird.
which would have been a weird thing. But hopefully, there's no injury report out on it at the time being. But yeah, for what it's worth, right now, I think it was just like maybe like ketchup or something from catering.
Right? Like he just happened to have a packet of ketchup, which is kind
Rest
of
in peace.
funny. All right, keep going. And then Gio, if you want to add in, if you saw NXT, go ahead.
Okay.
But when you guys could continue, because I didn't see NXT, I just know certain bits and pieces.
Oh, you didn't see the entire show, did you?
I mean, not really. I mean, I saw whatever Twitter would give me, because that's where I get my stuff from.
Oh, okay. So basically that's how it opened up the segment, and then they went into, I believe, the first match, which was how come I can't remember this off the top of my head? I think it was
Was it a women's match or no?
I think they no, OC opened up the segment.
Yeah,
they came in marching through the arena. Then
Yeah.
they got confronted by Ciampa, Riddle, and Keith Lee, and saying like, well, like, this is the main roster, sorts like that, like, Tommaso Ciampa was just like, basically like, we left the door wide open for you guys, like, for you guys to come in here, and like, if you guys want to fight, we'll give it to you. So that'd be the main event set up for the evening. So then the first
I did
match
want
was
to ask you before we move on to matches is how did you feel about the promo that AJ Styles and Ciampa had exchanged with each other? Like
I thought it was pretty solid. It was pretty solid for what it was. Like, Ciampa was pretty much saying like, NXT's superior brand. It is a main roster. Like AJ, like, coming around saying, well, this is NXT. Like, I don't think he, like, went in there and completely buried them or anything like that. He was just like, he went in there, said his piece, sort of thing. He didn't bury anyone, didn't bury the brand, which is pretty good, because like the last thing they need to do is like did the same mistake like The Rock did or something like that, or like, when WCW and ECW had their invasion angle in there, it's just like, completely bury the talent and the brand. It's just like, well, who are you again? Like, like, what is it you do? And it's just like, okay, well, like, farewell credibility.
Pretty much. All right, so we could talk about matches then.
So I do remember the first match. It is Damian Priest versus Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
So basically touching up on their rivalry that they've been having for the past few weeks, which is pretty good. Like, call him Punishment Martinez if you want. Well, that'll work out as well. Like, solid worker, great athlete. I didn't get to see too much of him in Ring of Honor when I had the chance, which was kind of I guess that was like sad for me anyway, because like dude could really go.
Yeah,
if
he can.
he's like, given the right set of tools, given the right opponent, stuff like that, he can really go. Pete Dunne is definitely that one great opponent for him right now in NXT. So, again, like, for Damian Priest, they're not burying him. They're not completely burying Pete Dunne either, even though they're helping put Priest over.
Yeah.
Like, with these strong style type opponents, which is really, really good.
It is. And Damian Priest or Punisher Martinez, which I enjoy Punisher Martinez more than anything, as a name. But when I used to have the Ring of Honor subscription, yeah, he was pretty great, for his size and how athletic he is and the things that he's willing to do. He could be like a modern day Undertaker if Undertaker ever wanted to like really like sort of leave it to somebody. It'll be him.
I think
'Cause-
it'd be great for that
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
He
Like-
fixed it.
I'm just trying to see how I could pop out the damn D-Light chat.
Because I feel like I think they might have tried that with Wyatt to make him some sort of modern day Undertaker, but
Yeah, it
has
just
not worked over very well at all.
yeah, it just hasn't. Which is kind of sad, you know. I mean, it could have been like Undertaker-esque, where he's an entity and that's all he is an entity, and you don't destroy the entity, you know, sort of, in a way.
Mhm.
Like Sister
Kinda
Abigail,
reminded me of Kane.
what happened?
Fiends kind of reminded me of Kane because of like the red lights that they're giving.
Oh,
I
that
hate that they give the red light during the matches. I not a fan of it. My personal
yeah,
opinion.
that thing has to like go. It really does have to go. I want to be able to watch a match in its entirety, you know, and it'll be okay. Not have a red light in it.
Well, you know, maybe it'll fade out and be
Yeah,
regular.
we'll see how it works out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also up to the live audience as well. That's also there. I mean, like home viewership is one thing, but then like if the people live in the audience is just like, if I were live, because it'd be a lot darker to view it, over there, which is like, you know, I think it'd be all over the place. I think it'd be pretty bad. My
Yeah,
personal
pretty
opinion.
much. All right. So after that match,
Alright,
what
so
happened?
Dunn. So Dunn and Priest finished up. Dunn got the win by submission. Then Killian Dane comes out, attacks Dunn. Basically both of them pretty much just like, you know, took out Dunn. But it's like Killian Dane trying to establish his rivalry, his dominance with Pete Dunne right now on the main roster on NXT. Then next matchup after that would be Tainara Conchi and Santana Garrett, who finally made her debut on the NXT roster. I felt that they wasted Garrett here,
Yeah.
which is a shame because Garrett's such a prospect and a pretty good wrestler. And to give her like her debut match on NXT with Tainara Conchi, which I don't know how much she's improved. I don't think she has by much. There's a lot of confusion for me with this, trying to comprehend why they would give Tainara the win over Garrett. And I believe it was what is it? Like a buy-in for one of the matches. I think it was either War Games or Survivor Series or something like that. I forgot. But yeah, pretty big waste for Garrett there. Like I didn't agree with that at all. Next women's match after that would be Shayna Baszler versus Dakota Kai. And I believe, let's see, I believe Baszler won after countering Dakota Kai towards the end, which is amazing. The more and more I'm starting to watch Shayna Baszler matches, the more and more respect I'm actually giving her now compared to how I viewed her in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, I wanted her just to lose the strap. I'm just like, please don't get it anymore. Don't put her in the main event spot. Like I just content just seeing her just like whatever, be some sort of badass, whatever. She didn't need the strap to do it. But like the way she's being pushed and tested in these matches against all the talent that's been thrown in front of her, I'm a little amazed that she's able to put on pretty good matches with a lot of the talent on NXT so far.
Yeah.
Which I believe this match was, yeah, after the submission tap out, Marina and Jessamine came in to beat out Kai, and then the pretty much the women's locker room ish that's in War Games came out.
Oh, okay, of
started
course.
beating up on each other.
Yeah.
And Mia Yim was the pleasant surprise that came out and started kendo sticking the heels.
Yeah.
And then it was later announced by Ripley that she was giving her fourth member spot to Yim because apparently the Shayna Baszler versus Dakota Kai would be a buy-in spot as well. If Dakota Kai won, she would win her spot on the War Games team. which I don't understand because like okay, when William came out last week and decided if you women want to fight, war games. It's just like okay, cool.
Yeah, that's pretty
All,
much how he said it.
pretty
Okay.
much all the women out there were just like all beating up on each other. And okay, I'm
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah.
we have our established teams here. Like, okay, this is it. Now it's like, okay, hold up a minute. Like, this is not the team. Like, is what are the teams? So apparently, the teams going into it, before they decided to have these buy-ins were Rhea Ripley, Tegan Knox, Candice LeRae,
Yeah.
I believe. Those three so far, and then fourth member right now, Mia Yim has just been elected to go in. And I think do they have 4 or 5 per team? I think 4 or 5. Don't remember, but um, so now they have a viable fourth, and I believe maybe with the heel squad, I think Tara Conchi winning over Garrett somehow bought her a spot into the match for some god awful reason. Please help me, God. I'm not
Maybe.
saying that like
Maybe.
this is like, but Tanara Conti, like I don't know, I would have chose somebody else over Tanara Conti at this
Yeah.
point. I'm pretty sure she'll improve over time or stuff like that. Like she's probably worked out at the performance center, paid her dues, whatever. But at the same time, it's just like at this point in time with the type of roster, with the type of talent going into a match like this,
Mm-hmm.
I would, unless she's gonna be fodder in 5 seconds, that's the only way I would really pretty much accept that and book it.
Yeah. Even my face, I know when people are going to be watching this or probably hearing it, but I was even confused too the way that you had explained the reasoning for Rhea Ripley to not be in the War Games match. Um, so she gave her spot away to Mia Yim, right?
No,
Eh,
she didn't give it away. Like Rhea
oh,
Ripley's the captain of the women's
oh,
War Games
okay.
match. So because of this, like because of this whole confusion now, because the way Survivor Series works,
Uh-huh.
because like Survivor Series is the next day.
Yeah, yeah.
So with this now in effect, Shayna Baszler can't represent her team unless she's going to do double duty
Oh, okay.
on
Got
War
it, got
Games,
it.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So now we have that like this whole cluster of like women now vying for spots on women's War Games because Shayna Baszler has a match on Survivor Series in a triple threat with the other two Raw and SmackDown champions, and it's like that with the main roster right now. So like they've already decided the women are not gonna have a triple threat. The three tag teams, so Undisputed Era, Revival, and who are the Raw champs again? War Raiders. Um,
Oh, I forgot about
yeah,
them.
those guys are gonna go triple threat style tag team match as well. I'm pretty sure they are probably going to maybe decide to do it with the mid card championship, so the Intercontinental Champion, US, and the North American Champion or Cruiserweight, maybe I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Which that would be a phenomenal match because you got Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, and Roderick Strong. Should he choose to hold his title through that point, and if it serves me correctly, there is a triple threat, maybe. I don't know if it's decided yet. Let me double check. Because if they're doing it like that, and if they're going to put the world champions into one match, I think it's just going to be a slaughter. Because it'd be Brock Lesnar, The Fiend, and Adam Cole.
Yeah, Bebe.
But for what it is in
Mhm.
Survivor Series right now, it is Brock Lesnar versus Rey Mysterio
Yeah,
for the championship.
which is interesting. Do you guys have like any theories as to why all of a sudden this is happening? Do we need another? I
I believe
mean,
Mysterio was supposed to be the original opponent going into Crown Jewel.
oh really?
So, yeah. So it was supposed to be Mysterio going to Crown Jewel until he got that injury, which is a legitimate injury. And then I think Cain Velasquez was supposed to be the guy brought in much later into the feud
Mm-hmm.
to really give it that same type of feel where it's just like, the Avenger for Rey Mysterio sort of thing.
Yeah.
Now they're playing it completely backwards. And obvious. I think it's obvious at this point that they're putting Lesnar over Mysterio, obviously, but we don't know to what kind of dominance at that one point.
We don't. It's gonna be another underdog story for Rey Mysterio, and probably maybe defeating Brock, because when he won
Will
the
he be
belt
the
the first
giant?
time, huh?
Will he be like the giant killer?
Yeah, I mean we could give him that. Uh, who did he take the belt from? When it was originally supposed to be given to Eddie, but Eddie had passed away that week. Did
He beat Randy Orton.
what happened?
He beat think he beat Randy Orton
Oh,
and Kurt Angle at WrestleMania in a triple.
oh, okay. I don't know why I was thinking that he beat like Big Show or somebody that was bigger than him when they did that whole, he's the underdog type storyline and stuff like that. Um,
Oh, that's after he won it.
okay, that was after. I thought that was like before when he won it. But yeah, that really was at WrestleMania that time. Yep. So keep on going with NXT then.
All right, NXT. So after that women's match and the whole thing with Baszler, I think they're doing 3 teams for women's war games. So there's Team Baszler. So yeah, the way I'm reading it right now, it is Team Baszler, Team Rhea Ripley, and Team Shirai. Maybe I don't know.
Oh wow, that's a lot of teams.
I think. I could be wrong again, but I mean that's the way I'm reading it at this point because like I don't know how because like if it is Team Baszler, it'd be Baszler, Shafir, and Jessamine plus another person. I don't know, but that's still up in the air at this point. Next match anyway.
Yeah.
Was the number 1 contenders match for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. So it sees Tony Nese versus Angel Garza. Really good match, I feel. I felt like both guys put each other over quite well, played it very safe as well. Not too much crazy spots or anything like that. Garza went over Nese. I for some odd reason I like watching Garza go for some god awful reason. I don't know. It's like a guilty pleasure of mine right now. Maybe it's because he's like a Mexican Tai Chi for some odd reason. Just like with the whole pants thing anyway.
I see him.
Yeah, so basically he comes in with pants and then he rips them off mid match, something like that. So the pants, how that came into play in that match was basically I believe Nese was going for a top rope powerbomb. Tried to get him off, but ripped the pants off while trying to go into it. And apparently, I think Morrow said like this is the first time I've ever seen a pair of pants getting power bombed in a match.
Of course, because who doesn't love Maru? Who doesn't love that guy?
So yeah, he actually made that statement on air about the pair of pants being power bombed in a match.
Man, that guy.
I mean, I've never seen the pants get power bombed until that night.
Yeah, I think that would have been like a first for all of us, no matter what. Cool. What was after that?
After the match, Lio Rush came out to congratulate Garza, but Garza squared him right in the face with a slap, like this pretty hard slap. Lio Rush played it off, smiled it off. Still, like what was after that was Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Dominic Dijakovic.
Yeah, that
which was a pretty good match. I liked it.
Is Isaac new?
Isaiah's kind of new. He was in the the breakout tournament for like when they announced a whole handful of new signees. So like
okay.
Isaiah Scott, if you guys are not familiar with him, he played Killshot in Lucha Underground, so he was in a mask then.
Which, by the way, I do not know if we're ever going to be talking about Lucha Underground on the podcast. But if you guys want to, you guys can. I personally had never gotten behind Lucha Underground. Like, I tried it. I tried watching a couple episodes. I just couldn't get behind it.
Like, we could probably leave that for another day.
Well, yeah, of course. I didn't want to do it now. I'm just saying that if you guys have wanted to talk about it, you guys can. I just won't contribute to it because I couldn't get behind it and whatnot. So, Yeah.
Let's just say it started off with a lot of promise, a lot more sport than it was like TV drama. Then later on, it got way too much TV drama-ish for its own good. I feel like that sort of aspect of the brand killed it,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of talent wasn't really being utilized. Like there was a lot of talent that was being signed to the brand that really didn't get utilized properly. But it did see a lot of promise for a lot of the people who did get exposure on there. So
Uh-huh.
obviously, John Morrison,
Yeah.
Ricochet was on there. He was their first champion.
Yeah, yeah.
Puma,
Well, yeah, you have to keep a kayfabe.
yeah, keep it kayfabe. Mil Muertes, so who I think is like an amazing um Katarina, I believe like even Evilise, Angelico and Son of Havoc,
Yeah.
all of those were amazing on there. So the one thing I will probably go on record to say was the overusage of the thigh slap sound,
Oh, of course.
which was not done by the wrestlers, by the way. It was taped.
Really?
So it was recorded. It was a recorded sound, and it played virtually on almost like hard hits. So like whether it be like a forearm shot, it was a thigh slap. Whether it was a super kick, thigh slap. Whether it was like a hard clothesline, thigh slap. Like there was just like unnecessary like thigh slap sound for like a lot of this stuff just to try to give it some sort of impact,
Mm-hmm.
like for the viewers.
Uh,
So it was way too gratuitous, and I hated it. It was like they just abused that that soundtrack way too much.
So I'm gonna cut in for anyone listening on D Live. If you're not familiar with like professional wrestling terms and what the wrestlers actually do in the ring to make the sound, this is a little peek behind the curtain. If you're gonna go for a kick, you will usually slap your thigh. It will sound like this. It'll be like that to create the effect of the person actually getting hit. Sometimes we don't really want to expose too much from the business because I still love keeping the business the same way that it should be kept. Keeping the
Kayfabe.
kayfabe. Yep, keeping the kayfabe.
You got to. You got to protect
Yeah,
the business.
you got to protect the business sometimes. And you guys might think it's foolish for us to do that, but this is how passionate we are, and this is what we love. Oh my God, dude on the web. Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for donating the 5 lemons. But yeah, that's exactly what wrestlers do. And I can't believe that Lucha Underground abused the hell out of that sound.
Oh yeah, like right out of abuse.
I
Anyway,
didn't know until now.
yeah, I didn't know because I didn't watch Lucha Underground. I couldn't get behind it like I was saying earlier. But all right, so no
Okay,
more
so
no more Lucha Underground.
so after yeah. Anyways, back on the topic.
Yeah.
NXT. Dijakovic went over on
Mhm.
Isaiah Scott. Again, pretty good match. Both guys put each other over quite well, and they are pushing Dijakovic into being one of the new big things on the roster because of his size, obviously.
He's tiny in a way.
Dijakovic?
Well, he looks
I mean,
tiny.
compared to the other guys on the roster, because like what the other guys they signed on the roster are like virtually like cruiser. But like Dijakovic though, the way he looks like a big guy. Like he looks like he can go.
Hmm.
And, like which is why they had him go into matches with Keith Lee and stuff like that, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Um,
Which I just want to be that person just to like throw some laughs out there. They're only pushing him because he tried to go after Kenny on Twitter. I want to be that person.
you think they're pushing him because he went after Kenny on Twitter?
This is a secret. Probably no, but I just want to get the laughs out there.
Okay.
Damn it,
okay.
dude. It wasn't that serious.
I know.
It was just stupid that he went after him trying to be all big and bad, but I just wanted to make a joke out of it. I'll be that person. Watch
Okay.
watch me end up getting heat after this.
They're not gonna like us after this episode.
Hey, I don't care. I'm gonna act like the elite and just make fun of shit.
All right. So after the match, you got the main event: OC versus Ciampa, Keith Lee, Riddle. Match ended in a no contest after there was a ref bump by the end of the match where Keith Lee did the pounce on I believe it was Carl Anderson
Uh-huh.
or AJ. I think it was on AJ.
Mm-hmm.
So like AJ was going on in for a thing, missed a spot. Keith Lee came in, did the pounds, hit AJ, and AJ bumped the ref,
Oh, of course.
which led to the high spots afterwards. So saw Riddle attempting it. I think he went for like a dive and he got himself caught on the ropes.
Uh-huh.
Thankfully, he didn't mess it up too much, but he was caught, so it broke his fall. Hopefully, he doesn't try that again unless he's very confident in hitting it, because that was just unnecessarily scary.
Yeah.
Um, Balor came out.
Yeah, I saw that picture. They took this
So
awesome picture of Balor and AJ staring each other down.
so they were staring each other down. Basically, Styles acknowledged him, raised his hands up in the two sweet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Balor gave him the guns,
Yeah.
Yep.
and then AJ's like, all right. Then he went to go hit the Styles Clash, called it out, called out the spot.
Oh, of course he did.
He was like Styles Clash, and he was about to hit it on, and then out came Adam Cole,
Oh,
super kicked
baby.
AJ, super kicked AJ out of the ring,
Uh-huh.
and then started putting a beat down on Ciampa, and then Cole had to stare down with Balor afterwards, and then Balor just smiled and just kind of walked off, and that was basically how NXT closed out.
I'm gonna make a promise to myself to actually watch that one in particular, so that way I can feel the emotion. Because even you talking about it, I was getting a little hyped up. Because for anyone that followed AJ Styles, he has a very high caliber profile of being a wrestler in this awesome industry, and he was part of the Bullet Club, and now he's in WWE. You also had Adam Cole, which was part of the Bullet Club for a little bit.
A little
Yeah,
bit.
he's a temporary member.
Yeah, he was temporary, and then he became a ghost. One day we'll talk about that on the podcast. Um, and then you have Finn Balor, who was, part of the member anyway from the Bullet Club. But because
The founding
yes,
father of the group.
he was the founding father along with Anderson and Gallows. It was the three of them, and then all of a sudden they're all here in WWE. The only reason why Gallows, Anderson, and AJ have the OC is because Vince McMahon couldn't secure the rights to get the Bullet Club from New Japan, because New Japan already filed for everything and bought the name. Now, my question to you guys is that this is probably like a long time in the making. Do you think that WWE could do this sort of justice, or should like Triple H just do it and not have Vince ruin it to make it great? To have this whole feuding going on.
I don't see Vince really understanding the potential of this group. If you told Vince McMahon about this idea, he wouldn't get it. I think Triple H would get the idea a little bit more. I honestly thought towards the ending of the main event of NXT, I'm going to refer to him as Prince Balor. Prince Balor was probably going to join his old group. I mean, he is the original member.
Yeah.
So, or is he going to join Undisputed Era? Or is he going to have his own faction? That would be interesting. But I think Vince wouldn't get it. Oh, Prince Balor.
What?
I think Prince Balor,
Oh,
Finn
okay.
Balor.
Okay.
Yes, I'm
That's
calling
fine.
him Prince. Yes, I see him probably having like his own group, maybe.
Uh-huh.
And he probably might feud with Undisputed Era or the OC. He's unpredictable right now since he showed
Yeah,
his
he
true
is.
self.
Uh-huh. And he did it
So we
perfectly
don't
too,
know.
man.
Oh yeah, my mouth dropped when I saw that.
Yep. I was not expecting it. I didn't know how dangerous a simple Pele kick is until he decided to turn heel. I always popped whenever the Pele kick happened because it's out of nowhere, but once Prince Balor does it to turn heel, I was just like, wow. Now we're getting somewhere. Now I could be invested again in Prince Balor, and I could be invested again in NXT and WWE, because right now they're on the right track. And this is what they need. I honestly think that WWE should focus within themselves rather than trying to see if they could try to one up AEW. Just because I don't think that I don't think they need to. I just think they need to focus on every guy that they signed and woman, every woman they signed, and do invasions like that. Because now that we wrapped up the main event, I got the chance to see the interview that Becky Lynch was doing, and then Shayna comes in and they have their little, monologue time about Survivor Series. And I thought that promo was sort of okay, but I understood where they were going, and I'm kind of excited to see how Shayna versus Becky would turn out at Survivor Series.
And
I
Bailey,
think it's
can't
gonna be
forget
a really
Bailey.
good match.
Oh yeah, and Bailey. Sorry, Bailey, if you ever watch this. Like, man, she's
Eva
gonna.
Bailey, Dark Bailey.
Yeah.
She's not giving out hugs anymore.
I
So
mean, they even said themselves, those women said they're not gonna sleep on Bailey.
Yeah, I know. By
you
the
can't.
way, I just want to interject. Thank you, Circus, for donating 3 lemons. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I totally forgot about Bailey. I hope that, if Bailey ever hears this or sees this, like, she doesn't attack me on Twitter. Um, yeah.
Nah, I don't think so.
So, overall, would you guys recommend NXT?
I would,
I would, yeah.
because I enjoy NXT, and I'm happy that it's on like cable network like USA. Because now, yeah, they sign the independents and they go to NXT, but is NXT a developmental thing,
Uh-huh.
or is it now a legitimate brand because it's on a big network that most people may have,
Uh-huh.
and you get to see all the different stars. If you didn't know who any of these wrestlers, athletes were before, if you didn't have the network, now you have a chance because you see this invasion happening. So you might like, who's Adam Cole? Oh, I gotta check out NXT. Or who's Shayna Baszler?
Yeah,
Why is she
yeah.
still a champion? So it's good. It's good that they're getting recognized now, because a lot of people, or some of the talent, when they would get called up to the Raw and SmackDown, it would be kind of lost because you'd be like, who's this person? I don't know who he is. But then when you watch NXT and you see the growth and development, you're like, this is how they are. Why are they not like this? They go up to
Uh-huh. Go ahead. I don't know if you were finished.
so I would recommend NXT, especially with the takeovers. My only thing with after takeover is, now that we know that it's going to be Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT,
Mm-hmm.
are the NXT talent going to be able to showcase the same kind of action that they would on a takeover?
Oh,
Whereas
I see what you mean.
that's the only thing that I have.
Yeah.
But I'm interested. But takeover before Survivor Series, and then I'll be ready for Survivor Series. But I'm interested. And
Yeah.
also, what is Prince Balor gonna do? Will Bailey be the forgotten underdog champion, or will she get a surprise win? Who knows?
Yeah. So,
I'm done.
uh, is any of the titles on the line in this triple threat match for the
None of the
women?
I think
titles are on the line. No, it's just basically
Ooh.
like supremacy.
it's just about who's the best brand.
Okay. I mean, don't you think it would be kind of better if the titles were on the line?
Nah, yes and no.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's absolutely necessary to sell it unless there's a deeper angle involved.
Uh-huh.
Like,
It
so,
might
like
be
if they had a deeper angle, I feel like it would make a lot of sense, but it's absolutely unnecessary with the type of stakes, I guess, that they have.
Mm-hmm.
it just would be weird. It just would be kind of weird because technically Raw and SmackDown are separate brands.
Yeah.
You have NXT, the unofficial brand that did not get any drafts, even though Street Profits got drafted.
Well,
Um,
they take from NXT rather than giving to NXT,
Yeah, they
so
do. Yeah, they do. They take it from it.
yeah, it's a loss, but I like the Street Profits. I see potential in them. it's just going to be a little more. I give them a couple of more months.
Yeah, just so you
Mhm.
know, the time that the Street Profits were not on NXT for like a really, really, really long while, they were fighting in Evolve because they were the Evolve Tag Team Champions, and I managed to see them live, and they're pretty good live. They had the crowd jumping. They had like very good crowd reaction, very good spots during the match. They were like super fantastic. You know, they'll get there. People will like remember them and stuff like that. Uh, but yeah, if that's what if you ever remember that time when they weren't there in NXT for a while, it's because they were with Evolve, and then also
Yes,
because WWE is backing Evolve financially. Technically, they have them in their pockets, like securely. They could get whatever Evolve person they want to be either debut on NXT or whatever. I just feel like most of the stuff is just plain developmental. Like I'm just gonna pull from here and here and here, that type of thing, like how they always
Mm.
do. Um,
yeah.
all right. Any final words for NXT, Takeover, Raw, SmackDown before we move to AEW?
I can't wait to see what Prince Balor has in store next week.
Yeah, that's true.
Looking forward for Takeover and then Survivor Series, but mostly Takeover and the rest of the progression of the show
Which
for
by
the three brands.
which by the way,
Hmm?
when is Takeover?
The Saturday before Survivor Series usually.
Yes, I think
So
Takeover is probably Saturday,
so
like the day before.
so this Saturday we have AEW Full Gear, and then Survivor Series should be like the 24th of November, right?
Yeah.
Cuz
Mm-hmm. That
okay,
sounds
so
about
then
right.
so then Takeover should be the 23rd. All right, so we should plan to try to do a Takeover breakdown and predictions and stuff when that comes around.
It's good.
All right, so we're gonna move on to possibly my favorite brand, which is AEW, which I'm gonna say it outright that AEW is my favorite brand, and I actually wrote down some notes. You guys can see that in the video, um, which I don't normally do. I don't normally write down show notes. So I know Epic got the chance to watch AEW this past week. Gio, did you get the chance to watch AEW?
I did not get the chance to watch AEW, but I was following up, so I know about the Cody announcement and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna go in order from how I written this down from like the start of AEW Dynamite. So AEW Dynamite is on TNT. The first match that opened up was Pac versus Trent, and Trent is one half of the Best Friends tag team with him and crap, what's his name? This is so bad. Um, what is it? Trent and guys, help me out
Chuck,
here.
Chuck,
Chuck?
Chuck Taylor,
Is
Chuck
it
Taylor, I
Oh,
think.
Chuck
Maybe.
Taylor? Okay.
Who?
Chuck. Yeah, Chuck Taylor was
Okay,
it.
so yeah, with Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy. Uh that match was slow. I think that was poorly put together, meaning Pac has a interesting style and he works best with like Hangman for some reason. He doesn't work really well with Trent's style. But Pac is a bastard, so he'll just beat anybody. I did find the exchange between him and Orange Cassidy to be like a fun little spot, but Pac doesn't smile, but that's what he does. At least he got the crowd reaction to boo him, very easily. That was a cheap boo. That finish, oh god, did you see the finish of it, Epic?
I didn't get to see the finisher. No.
All right, so all right. Here's some more pulling behind the curtain, I guess. So in professional wrestling, referees know all. Like 90% of the time, referees have the hardest job in the industry. They have to remember all the spots. They have to remember when to call it home, meaning when to do the 3 counts so everybody can go home and end the match, referees have to remember a bunch of other probably technical stuff, including rules, rope breaks, countouts, disqualifications, anything you name it. So their job is really, really hard. So it looked like at the ending of this match, damn, we dropped down to 4 viewers. Wow, is my historian like that bad? Okay, guys, thank you. Thank you for stopping by anyway. So like I was saying, it looked like the referee was told in the back that the finish was supposed to be a submission. However, when Pac hits his black arrow, um, it looked like he completely knocked out Trent on the ground because like Trent did not move, he did not pick up his arm to kick out. So when the referee was about to count 3, he stopped, and everyone on commentary was like, "Oh my God, Trent kicked out at 2," and it obviously that didn't happen, and they tried to really, really recover it. Even Pac gave the referee a look of like, "What the hell?" So Pac goes into his submission, and that's when the match ends. So that's how that ending got fucked up, since you didn't see it.
Mm.
Yeah. Everybody was complaining on Twitter about it, but it wasn't the referee's fault. You know, he knew what was supposed to be done. It just happened to be like, if you're doing a freaking rotation in the air and plop down on somebody, all that air is going to come out of you and you're going to just be wiped out. So yeah, that was for that
It's
one.
like an impact.
Yeah, definitely like an impact. And I hope people don't think that I'm not appreciative of anyone that has came into the stream and looked. It was just a weird freaking number drop. That's all. Gio, do you want to start off with Cody's announcement?
Cody's announcement that he said that if he does not challenge, well, if he does not beat Chris Jericho for the NWA Heavyweight Championship, he will never challenge for the title again. Pretty big. Pretty big.
Yeah, which kind of reminded me of he's going straight old school, and I'm talking about like uh back in the 80s NWA style. Not too long ago, Tim Storm from NWA did the same thing with Nick Aldis when he was like, well, Nick Aldis gave him the ultimatum of like, if I beat you, you're never going to challenge for the title again. And I just felt that similarity with it. Cody Rhodes' promo was great. I'm not related to Cody, but like I felt like I was part of his family when he
Oh yeah!
Thank you, Vortex, for donating ice cream. But I felt like I was part of Cody's family when he was saying his speech, and I felt the passion that he had. And the line that stuck out was this is Ellis Island for wrestlers, this is freedom. That hit very close to home. Because essentially we want to see every wrestler out there succeed and, be a big name and a big star, especially like if you go around supporting your local indies, and having the chance to see your friends make it in the business and trying to do the best that they can with all the outlets that they have. And then, Cody just saying that just reaffirms that wrestling is not dead. Wrestling is in a age of evolution, and it's in the age of um I guess amazement at this point. Epic, you want to add anything?
Um, the I feel like it's gonna go like it's very unpredictable. I would say at this point because like the brand is still very fresh, and with the direction everything's going right now, it's really hard to kind of pick up actually if Jericho would actually be dropping this strap to Cody,
Mm-hmm.
or if Jericho goes over and then Cody doesn't go for the strap and then he's stuck at some sort of rule, or they introduce some sort of mid card division which would just degrade his character at this point. But
Mm-hmm.
um, it'll be interesting to see how they play this angle out, where they're planning on, if they plan on still making Jericho that top guy, or if, like, Cody takes the back seat and just, like, just sits back and just runs the show from, from Gorilla, or does something at this point. It'd be, again, interesting, because I can't write or predict this at this point with the way AEW goes,
Yeah.
with their direction. But sign me up on watching Full Gear to see where that goes.
Yeah, pretty much. I enjoy their direction that they're going, because at least on the dirt sheets. Hey, Chubbly, thank you for following. Welcome to Ravage Lands, and welcome to the Square Circle podcast.
All right.
What happened?
No, I said all right.
All right, cool. I do like the direction that they're going in, but I also like the fact that no dirt sheet ruins anything, you know? Because AEW gives us what we want. AEW just says it out front. AEW is like, hey guys, this is what we're doing, you know? It's one of those things where, like, the dirt sheets don't get it first, you know?
And that's a blessing, because it's very hard to keep a secret in wrestling these days.
It is. It's very hard to do that.
Internet ruins everything.
Yes, it does. It really does. All right, so we're gonna move on to the tag team. So this was, you could think of it like a number one contender spot to fill in the third spot on the Full Gear pay-per-view. So it was Dark Order versus Private Party for 15 minutes. I don't know. I guess it was an okay match. There was nothing memorable, like, really about it. Private Party is still good with the Young Bucks because they have a similar style. Fighting, the Dark Order is a little weird, because the Dark Order came from somewhere and nowhere at the same time.
A lot of independence.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to keep it kayfabe to where they come from, because
I don't even know where. I'm just like, I know I've seen them in some Canadian shows before, but
yeah,
I don't know.
It's just that I don't know how
It
to.
came from another universe.
Yeah, I guess we could go with that, because I don't know how to explain Dark Order at all. But so the team going over in this match is Private Party, which I thought it was kind of interesting because Private Party won, weirdly. I don't know why I'm thinking that Dark Order won, but in my notes it says Private Party won, unless I have it wrong. So it's gonna be Private Party versus SCU, the team of Kazarian and Scorpio Sky, and then it's also gonna be the Lucha Bros in that match. That match is gonna be crazy.
Oh man.
But I mean, that's all I have for the tag team division, unless you wanna mention something epic.
Tag team division right now.
Well, I mean the match I just talked about, but if you want to talk about the tag team division in general, if you want to.
I don't think I have like too much to go on the tag team division. Again, like much like AEW, still fresh, everything's still new.
Yeah.
Like wins, losses still
yeah, it
a
still
very, very
matters.
big factor in regards to who gets called up for shots or whatnot. They have a lot of talented teams in the lineup. Like, this could go a lot of ways. Like, at this point, SCU is going to be going over on that match. Who would be going on for the next spot would be interesting to find out. But
It would be too.
I would say like having them going up against a lot of the other talented teams, like either like Hybrid 2, like Lucha Brothers getting another shot in. I feel like Lucha Brothers is probably going to be on the grind if if wins and losses are a thing, to kind of put themselves back into the lineup, because they are the ones angle wise who put Christopher Daniels out.
Yeah, they did.
So it'd be interesting to see, like, they should be inserted a little bit more into their programming, either through dark or um, pre-shows, the buy-ins, what they
Mm-hmm.
call them,
Yeah.
for them to really pick up on that wins loss thing. So like rack up more wins, put themselves uh into the picture for the next angle.
Yep. So I'm gonna let you kick off why you think that the Inner Circle video was debatable, because I fucking love that shit.
Ah, I
Here we go.
mean, okay, I don't even know where to start, to be honest. We're going all over that stuff. I mean, like Inner Circle, like pushing, themselves, and like Jericho's like freaking genius. First of all,
Yep.
like I don't even know where to begin on this one. Like I don't even know where to start on this one. I
All
don't
right.
know.
All right. So let me. So
Give
let.
your thoughts on
All
it. I
right.
mean,
So I thoroughly enjoyed the video. I know our viewers don't really know what we're talking about, but um, Chris Jericho, who's in AEW and is our AEW champion, decided to do a video similar to how Cody Rhodes did his video, where it was very deep in thought about winning the AEW championship and what he's doing to his family and friends, because he has to focus on this. This is the biggest night of his career and stuff like that. So Jericho kind of mocked him using the Inner Circle team that he has, um, to the point where it was very, very comedic, and you knew that Jericho wasn't really taking it seriously. Like he's not taking Cody Rhodes seriously. What I enjoyed the most was just the mocking part, how they put it together, because I wasn't expecting, you know, Jericho to come right out and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna make fun of you, Rhodes, because I could do the same thing too." They got Virgil in there, which I thought was funny. They got Virgil in there to talk about Jericho. They had Sammy Guevara say he's, the youngest champion, being at 49 years old, meaning Jericho. Um, it was just well put together, and that's the style that AEW has, is to be sarcastic and to not really take things like way too seriously, depending on like the character of the person. But from start to finish, I really thought that it was kind of funny just to make fun of everything that Jericho ever did, especially creating the phrase "a little bit of the bubbly," because he didn't even look at the camera when he said "a little bit of the bubbly," man. Like that got me on a chuckle. Um, you have to admit that it was good storytelling as well. You know, his side of the whole feud between him and Cody. It just brought the feud up 10 times. So, unless you want to pick off of whatever I said, because you don't know where to start.
You gave him.
What happened, Gio? You kind of like, where are you, Gio?
I said you gave him a starter.
I think so. I hope so. Epic.
um, uh, jeez, I thought I had a thought in there at one point, but yeah, just
Did you think it was
I
too
feel like
kiddie-ish?
part of me did
Okay.
think it was a little bit too childish, but like at the same time that's Jericho, and that's his humor.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time though, like when I watched the whole entire promotion, plus like whatever's in conjunction with promos and how a business conducts themselves, like, and I guess I was looking at this as an overall standpoint as opposed to like a promo standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
when I was just like, okay, well, here we go. AEW hasn't established itself as a brand. You got two guys, two well-known names in the market going at it, brand new company, top prize of the game, and we're gonna treat it right now as a little bit of a joke to really push Rhodes as an underdog
Yeah, they
going
are.
into the match. And it's just like, well, if we treat it as such, then like what would the value be? Like, you get a lot of like the marks that come in here and it's just like, well, like we go in here, we support Cody Rhodes, like
Mm.
son of a plumber, like and you know he even like called Jericho back on it, where it's just like in Rhodes' promo, it's just saying like, well, you being son of like NHL hockey player, like
Yeah.
saying like all this stuff, and you have the right to really say this stuff about Rhodes and their family name and their family legacy, which is really really emotional. So like
It is.
there's like it's a different approach to how those two really want to go into it, where like Jericho is just like, well, whatever, it's just Cody Rhodes saying, it's just like, the only way you're here is through like, your entitlement and through your name, as opposed to just like, Rhodes just being like, well, like, I'm here because I have a lot to prove, like, uh, taking a very serious tone to it. And I feel like sometimes, like, even though through some of Cody Rhodes' promos is way too long.
Yeah. Well, this one that he did recently for in Dynamite was just right.
Yeah.
But the one from the previous week where he's with Tony Schiavone, that was super long. I was like, oh my god, are we still here? I'm so sorry, but why does this need to be shown? You're taking away from the tag team match that's supposed to happen in the ring. That should have been saved for like AEW Dark.
That's what I feel like. It should have been like that, or like they should have shown it between segments, between matches, kind of like it's like washroom filler or whatever.
Yeah.
But if they wanted to give this a big time match feel, they should probably have a better angle for it. Like having the box office attack was a pretty good start in a way, but like I feel like they just really really toned it down in terms of building up this match.
Yeah.
Like
Like
they
it's
only got
they
like
only got like
the
the
championships
right now,
women's tag team
tag
championship
team championship
and
the world championship, and
like you're
like
gonna
you're gonna go into this
match,
match, top prize of the game,
your prestigious thing
thing in the company, and going to
Swear, man.
and then give it like
we're gonna give it like this type of promo, this type of build.
They should give it
a
lot better approach.
a lot better approach to it, at least.
I don't understand how you guys can hear her. I muted the thing. Oh my god. All right, cool. There is an echo. I know. I don't know why there's echo. I don't know how to fix it either. I really don't know. Why is it so loud? Can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear your echo and my echo.
Okay. We're good. I don't hear no echoes. But yeah, I totally agree with that. Part of me still wish that they sort of pushed Hangman Page, because I'm waiting for Hangman to turn heel.
I feel like that should be given time. I feel like they shouldn't make any hasty decisions right away.
Yeah.
Push whatever angles you're gonna go for right now, because like you have a company. Your focus right now should be like treat it like a season. I would say, like, for somewhat god awful reason, treat it like you would like Lucha Underground, where have a season, focus it around like whoever your champion is, whoever your contender is, get through that first, and then let's worry about what comes next afterwards. Then have your next push after that.
Yeah. Because even with like, being the elite, they also allude to maybe Page turning, and I really can't wait for that. That's gonna be like, I don't know. I gotta think that's cool, because now he could go around, kicking people in the head and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do some cowboy shit. Which, by the way, that line got me And I was like, you know what? I think I will probably buy the shirt just because. Just because. Um, one day I would like Adam Page to play Red Dead Redemption with me, so that way when we become outlaws, we could just say, "Hey, we're doing cowboy shit." Um, that's just me and my daydreaming shit. Anyway, um, after the Inner Circle video, it comes to the women's tag team match, which is uh Jamie Hayter. Is it Hayter or Hatter?
Hater.
Hayter. Um, thank you, Ghost. Yes, we have a ghost. Jamie Hatter teaming up with what? Wait, oh yeah, Jamie Hatter teaming up with Emi Sakura and facing against Rio, which is the AEW Women's Champion, and Shayna or Shanna.
Shanna.
Yeah. Um, I, I always root for women's wrestling, and I love watching wrestling. It doesn't matter if it's like women in the ring, men and women in the ring. It doesn't really matter as long as the athleticism is there, the story is there, and everybody takes care of each other in the ring. Because I don't want anyone dying. But for some reason, this match could have been better. It gets better towards the end, and I know that like in a match, you're not supposed to exhaust every single move that you have in the beginning, because then you get winded out, and then you have to get your second wind, and that's not a very good thing. But I just feel like these women don't really know how to work with each other to make um you know how can I say it, to make a chemistry in the ring to get the match going, you know um I I overall think that some of the women need to at least work with each other, but I understand that not all the women in AEW have a full-time contract. They're off doing other promotions and stuff like that, so they come into AEW just to make the appearances. Um, my other thing too is that Epic, do you know anything about Emi Sakura other than the fact that she loves Freddie Mercury and that's her gimmick?
Well, basically, she's Riho's mentor, trainer, and mentor. Um, so basically, they're pushing this angle as a like teacher versus student,
Yeah, okay.
and then I'm pretty sure they're using it as a way for Riho to have a better match with somebody who understands her a little bit better. Because I feel like touching back on what you said earlier about like the women type working on type of match, have a certain style, like the Joshi Pro Wrestling in the Japanese scene is really really different. So they can have a really really good match depending on who they're having their matches with. I feel like having Jamie Hayter in the mix because Jamie Hayter actually also works with Stardom at the same time
Yeah.
could go and mesh with that a whole lot easier and help communicate spots a whole lot better. I'm not too sure of Shanna's spot, if Shanna worked with Stardom or not.
I'm not too sure. I don't know much about her. But she's a French wrestler. That's the only thing that they kept saying. Commentators are not saying too much about who she is.
Apparently, Shanna has her name also in Japanese on her Twitter.
Oh.
Let me read this up real quick. Yeah, she was also in Stardom. So,
Oh.
um, basically, Shanna was there up until August 13th of 2017. Or it's 2018 she was there actually. So she was there for a while. So all women should be kind of familiar with how Japanese women kind of go and
Yeah.
do their matches. I feel like Stardom is in a league of their own when it comes to women's wrestling compared to uh, maybe Sendai or even like Ribbon
Mhm.
or Joshi Pro.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're having those four women, even though it could have been a little bit smoother, probably will not get any better or any worse than that
Yeah.
because like Shanna and Hater know how to work with Japanese women. They know how like Japanese women like their spots, how they call spots. So I feel for what it is, um, it'll probably get better. And again, I think it again depends on the type of person, type of athlete. Let's just say swap out Riho and Emi Sakura, and let's just say put in the likes of like uh Kairi Hojo, which is Kairi Sane by the way, and
Oh.
Io Shirai.
Hmm.
Um, you're probably definitely going to get a higher grade match with higher grade type of athletes that can really go.
Yeah.
Where Riho doesn't really do high spots. She's just there, I feel.
She is, and she's adorable being there. She works really well with Kenny, because that's because they have like a whole history of teaming together and stuff like that. But when it comes to when she's in AEW, she needs to get used to the women that they put her against, because sometimes
Okay.
some things does look off. But other than that, like, she maintains to be cute while she does wrestle. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like I feel like wrestlers like her, and I don't know, you guys could at me on it about it later or something like that. And, we don't have to go into a heated discussion, but I'll give you my 2 cents about why. But there are certain female wrestlers that'll look pretty while doing things, which is okay. But if you're gonna push that type of woman to be the face of your company, probably not the great way to go about it at this time. Like
Yeah,
how you want to push your company, who you want as your face, someone who can really go, someone who can represent the brand, someone who says, wow, like I could really watch that match and this person could really go. Like right now, the way I see it, like Yuka Sakazaki would have been my champion of choice. If I were to put a Japanese wrestler over, she's got a lot more personality. She looks cute doing it, but she can really go.
mm-hmm.
Whereas, like I feel like Riho right now is just kind of like
She's just there.
she's just there. Like if I were to like give her like I guess like a mixture of styles, it'd kind of be like who is incredibly safe. I know like she would have like a Randy Orton type style where like
Oh, everything he does is safe?
methodically
Yeah. Really?
everything is safe, methodically just kind of work around
Uh-huh.
and just kind of work your way into it without risking too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like go in, rest, hold,
Okay.
do a few spots here and there, kind of move around, and just kind of pace it that way, as
Yeah.
opposed to like go.
That's true. Because most of their matches are the go style. And sometimes I want to see it slow down a bit. And not have too much
Okay.
like spot.
Yeah, like I mean, like if you pace it out correctly, it's like if you could like open it up, you know, create a little bit of pace, go into a rest, build it up a little bit, do your high spots, go back into a rest, and then climax it out, go, close it out, go home. And like, I feel like it would work out that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like with Riho, it's just like, okay, just work it just a little bit here and like run, do this and just do that.
I
And
definitely
it's
see
just
that.
like it's just like very very placent. You like you would have to place her in certain situations for her to kind of do her things accordingly. I feel like she eventually might like if she were like translated into like an American wrestler, she would have like a 5 moves of doom set.
Oh man. Okay. Let's hope that you don't get added very badly on Twitter for saying all that. But I totally
I'm not
agree with
saying
what
this
you're
is like in
saying.
a negative way, but I mean like that's how
I know.
that's just how I viewed it the whole entire approach.
I
Like
totally understand where you're coming from, and I totally agree, and I can see the statements that you're making. Like it's
but I
totally
mean, if you
true.
guys want to show me a video of her other works, I haven't seen any of her other works in Japan. If you guys want to do that for me anyway, like you can include it into a link when this podcast is up there. Like the only other match that I saw outside of AEW was her match that she did with Kenny Omega in a mixed tag against
Oh yeah.
Michael Nakazawa and
Oh.
Yuka Sakazaki in OWE in China,
Oh damn.
which I feel like is almost the same type of match she always has.
I actually thought you were gonna bring up the recent one that her and Kenny went to Japan to DDT and faced two other people, which I totally forgot their names. But in that match, everything was so quick. That's why I was like, when she's teaming up with Kenny, it works. But when she's by herself to face the other women in a match, it's a little weird. You know, it's a little different.
Like I feel like they haven't worked out the communication spots and how they wanted to do it.
Yeah,
They should figure that stuff out. I feel like, you know, they should have a lot better trainers and better referees to help them get in better spots to help prepare for better moves
yeah,
communicates things a whole lot better.
yeah,
Like again, I'm not blaming any of the talent. That's just how they are. That's how safe they want to play it, and that's cool. But I feel like if they want to have like, you know, a better grade of match, I don't know if that's what they're going for or not. But I mean, for what it is right now, you know, have better communication, have better trainers, have better, not better refs, but I mean, have the refs help them move into places a little bit better to have the type of match that they want to have. But
yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
All right, so that is our take on that tag team women's match, and the team that won was actually Jamie Hayter and Emi Sakura. Sakura did it should have been a roll up, something. I think it was a roll up. But when the
Yeah.
referee counted to 3 and rang the bell, it looked like Rio didn't really know that that was supposed to be the finish. Like, either she forgot to kick out or something, but the referee let it stand as, you know, oh, I counted 3 and that's it. And Emmy, you know, did the whole thing of, since you mentioned earlier that's supposed to be like teacher versus student. So she did the whole, like, you know, sort of teacher thing to be like, yeah, you know, I got one up on you. That was that. Um Moving on, did you guys manage to see the Brandy video?
The Brandy promo
Yeah.
about, like, you know, her just being a pretty face, being associated with Cody,
Uh-huh.
and doesn't really deserve her place. I still feel that way about it subconsciously.
That you just think that she's just Cody's wife and she got there because of the name.
But like not in that sort of regard, but I mean like by association, like she is Cody's wife, and like, you know, in terms of wrestler, you know, I at me, but I don't think she's improved that much. Like she'll be amazing when she comes back and manages Awesome Kong, because that's what they're setting up for.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
I think she slightly improved. Whatever videos that she posts up on Twitter about her training, it's getting better. There's some stuff that she's doing, but it just needs to be consistent, and her in the ring and stuff like that. But she's also has to worry about the behind the scenes, the whole branding of AEW, and taking care of all the videos that need to go up on social media and the content, because I understand how that is. So sometimes juggling the two may not be a very good idea, but she is improving in everything that she's done. I just found it funny that she finally made a video about, you know, trying to, not really trying, but shutting up all the haters, because there's a lot of people that, you know, say some really disrespectful stuff to her, and that's what
Yeah, I
everybody.
feel like those internet marks are a lot of the worst types of scum.
Yeah,
Worse and worse.
it is. But you know, even before she decided to like get married with Cody, well, I mean, when she started in WWE, no one really knew who she was, except that, you know, oh, it's Brandy, she's the ring announcer. But I guess we could try to make an argument that because of Cody, you know, we know who she is. But individually, like, people know who Brandy is now because she does her own stuff. You know, it's not
Yeah.
too tailored to what a Rhodes would do, you know? Guys.
um well, I feel like that Brandy does have a lot to prove, which is like, you know, the reason why for this promo, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's going to be different to see the type of approach that they're going to go with this, to see whether or not if it's going to be in a manager role where, you know, she's going to unleash Kong on everybody, whether or not she's actually improved in the ring herself. Like I feel like, you know, she can improve. Like she does have this way of just like, you know, working a sort of like, you know, paced match the way she wants to go about it and do like a heelish style, like kind of showboating and promo within her matches. Because I've seen when she did go to Stardom a few years back, like what she's capable of in the ring, how she can kind of go, and how they kind of present it in a certain way as well.
Yeah, I
Um,
can see that. She did a
but
little bit time there.
yeah, so I mean, like she is well versed, well trained. She's really fit. She can really go. Um, just right now at this point, it's just like I guess the proof, the thing she wants to prove the most right now is like people just flacking on her because she's Cody's wife,
Yeah.
and
And
it's
it's
just
just a
like
bunch of other stuff that they do to her.
yeah. And it's just like, well, if you're just gonna harp on her just because Cody's wife and she's only associated with AEW because of that, then like, okay, well, that's a whole that's kind of personal then, as opposed to just like she's there in AEW, she's there to represent the women's division, to be the head of that sort of thing, and to run that thing to however. But if they're expecting her to do more or like less,
Mhm.
due to reasons of because then don't take it too personal. Go watch another sport. Then
Yeah, that's true
leave
too.
people alone.
Yeah, right? If only if it was that simple. If only it was that simple. Gio, do you want to add anything to the Brandy video?
It's like she is. Exp-
Hello.
Gio is starting to cut in and out. All right, what is happening over on Discord?
No idea.
It says that he's still here. Hopefully, Gio, buddy.
yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can
go
you hear
ahead,
you now?
man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like she's summoned awesome,
Oh,
or
cutting out
like,
again, my dude.
I don't know. Now she's gonna get every. Because it was interesting. She wants to say herself. She wants to separate herself, prove that.
Gio, just so you know, you're cutting in and out again.
Oh, why? Can you?
No, you're cutting in
It's
and
like
out.
very faint in and out.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's happening.
I mean, you're using your phone, right?
Yes, I am using.
Um, if I was you, I'll be walking around the house trying to get a signal. But that's just me. I do it with whatever.
I like it. I'm just wondering where it's gonna go.
All right, that sounds better. Cool.
Okay.
I don't know where you moved to in your place, but it worked. So stay there.
Okay, good.
um all right, the next match is Brandon Cutler versus God, who do you face? Shawn Spears, who is uh Ty Dillinger, the Perfect 10 from WWE. Uh just so you know, the winner of this match was Shawn Spears via pinfall. Brandon is getting better. I think Brandon is going to be great as a mid-card guy. I don't know if I see him as anything else, and I hope that if he's listening to this, that he doesn't take offense to that. But that's how I see him. He's like a very cool overall guy. And then the last thing that I want to mention, because it wasn't really, it was just a match. I think that they messed up with Shawn Spears. I really think they did.
They did. They shouldn't have put him in a program with Cody so early and then have him completely buried.
Yeah.
And I think I've said this in the past podcast too, where like the exact same thing is like this is happening way too early. Angle was done to perfection, but when it came down to the match, like Spears got completely buried, and after that, his momentum was just like gone. It was killed. Like any credibility you want to earn for yourself after that is gone. Like,
yeah. Definitely. and I think that the build that Spears is having, and now he's fighting with Joey Janela. I'm just like, you guys. This is where you would say you guys don't know what you're doing, because I don't know what they're doing. I don't understand it. Um, that's why
That's what I
I
feel like, to be
what.
honest. Like, that's what I feel like AEW is at this point right now, though. Like, again, they have all this talent. Wins and losses are a factor when deciding booking matches. Certain angles in there when they're not having a major title mentioned within the angle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like I feel like they're just doing a lot of things. A lot of people just doing things.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and it's not like having a purpose doing things. It's just like just here, just go there, do things, and it's just like, okay, cool, but you know,
I feel like the only sort of, how can I say it? The only segment slash story that feels like it's not just a doing something is Kenny Omega and Moxley. Like Kenny Omega's like intricate storyline, I feel like everything that he's done is not a just do whatever. We're just gonna throw things in there. What he's doing is making sense. Um, as much as I love the fact that Cody Rhodes and Chris Jericho are building this story to see who's gonna be either new AEW champion or if Jericho's still gonna retain the title, that's cool. I just felt like it was way too early put together, and I don't know why that should have happened. Um, that's why I feel that Shawn Spears and Cody Rhodes should have had their moment rather than just being buried, because then, that would have built up Shawn Spears even more. And so that way we could understand why he's in AEW. I mean, we know why, but the reason why, he decided to come there to take down Cody and make that story more deeper, because WWE was never going to do that. So just doing it in AEW, but doing it a different way. Um, there are like hit or misses in AEW. AEW is never going to be perfect. They're learning on the job as they go. They're learning as a brand new company. But we could all see that there's ups and downs to everything.
yeah. Hopefully, it's like a lot of things they could figure out real soon, because like the way I view it right now, personally, for me as a viewer, it's cool that they're focusing around certain types of matchups, and especially the main focal point right now is definitely on Cody and Jericho and whatever the inner circle is doing.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, like to be honest, like for me, I can't really care about anything else. It doesn't get me invested. Like I found myself enjoying NXT a whole lot more for the past maybe like 2 weeks so far, compared to the AEW programming. Like I feel like when like the elite is not giving themselves airtime and the other talent is given that time, that they should really go with that time that they're given
Mm.
to really like to really make something of themselves and give the fans a reason why they should back you.
Yeah, definitely. I think with me, going off that, the tag team of Jack Evans and Angelico,
Yeah,
like
and Heligo.
I remember watching Jack Evans so long ago that when he dropped off of wrestling, I was just like, oh crap, he's back. Like, is this really the Jack Evans that I remember when I was watching him go through his wrestling journey? And then to have this tag team, I'm just like, I don't know who, like, I don't feel that connection of like, yeah, I want to cheer for them. Or the same thing with the Dark Order, other than just coming out creepily and not knowing where they come from. I just can't get behind them. Um, yes, I totally understand where you're coming from in terms of like, there's a lot of stuff that just happens. Um, like I was just looking back at my notes. I even forgot to mention, the whole Pac versus Hangman thing. That I think that's a just because thing, right?
Yeah, a lot of it is just to help fill the card, and which is fine. You want to fill the card, you want to fill the card. Like that's fine. but again, it's just like at the same time, it's just like your talent is just there to help you do things in the time, just to help you fill the card. Um, but the talent has to look at this as an opportunity as well, because like they feel like right now the way that they have it is like I have this secure job. I work with AEW, work with Tony Khan, work with the Elite. We have this exposure. We're fine. We're safe. If you're looking at this just to say like here I'm on mainstream TV, we're a viable contender, and we're just playing it safe, then you might as well find yourself over to WWE real quick and establish yourself safely over there. Here is like you have a chance in front of a camera to pull a lot of audiences in from a lot of other things, because you gotta compete with like NWA now. You gotta compete with the WWE. You gotta compete. Let's just say like if you're watching any other programming out there, let's just say Stardom, New Japan Pro,
And also,
Pro Wrestling Noah,
don't
Impact.
forget, like baseball and basketball season, and like football season.
Exactly. The season just started. Like
Yeah.
exhibition matches are done. Like give these people a reason why they shouldn't click anything on the remote when your match is on TV. Like, what are you gonna do to impress me? It doesn't have to be like a high fly spot, it doesn't have to be a flashy move. Like, you could be like your character could be your mic work, something you say, something that you do just says, all right, you've intrigued my interest. Like, let me invest a little time into you, but don't make me regret it.
True. Gio, do you want to add anything onto that?
I would just like to see a little bit more build.
Oh, not again.
It's like
You got to move around the house, man.
Huh?
You got to move around the house. Your volume.
Okay.
You're coming in and out.
Is it helping?
Yes.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. So I don't have to do this for long. I would just like to see more of the build up the women's division.
All right, he said
we know like
the women's
top
division, by the way.
champions.
Okay.
Huh?
It cut out when you said women's division, so I'm just letting everyone know that you said women's division, that you want to see the women's division go up.
Yes. The women's division. Some make storylines. You gotta, because they're just focusing on
You're cutting out again.
Inner Circle, main championship, men's championship. That's about it.
Okay.
Just like together. But hopefully they'll get it together like through the, or at least by 2020.
Yeah, hopefully. I think that once we get to the new year, it'll totally be different. You'll probably see a more focused AEW, because now they really have to stretch out their talent in a way, because it's every Wednesday, so it's gonna go a little faster. The main event for Dynamite is Hangman Page and Kenny Omega versus Sammy Guevara and Jericho. This match was good. I am going to say that Sammy Guevara could have a classic match with Kenny. All of their chain wrestling in the match was very good. The spots were good. And then when we come towards the finish, distractions happen, where Pac comes out and low blows Hangman, and that's allowing Jericho to get the win over on Hangman, because it wasn't Kenny. Kenny did a freaking dive outside the ring, and then that was it. And then chaos and mayhem ensued to end the show, as if it was like WCW. What AEW was trying to do was get all the hype ready, and that's why they ended the show with all the Full Gear stars to end the show, to get it hyped, to make sure that you tune in this Saturday, November 9th at 8 p.m. To watch Full Gear. But yeah, that's all I want to say about the wrap up for the main event. You guys want to add anything?
I think
I
I've
just
said most of my
guess I
piece.
gotta
Okay.
get gear.
What happened, Gio?
I guess I have to get my full gear ready.
Yeah, man. We all, we all had to be full gear before full gear happened, but I didn't go to the gym. Anyway, so our last quick segment is just prediction time.
Oh yeah!
Oh my God, Chubbly, thank you for the 4 ice creams. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm gonna go down.
Oh yeah!
Oh my God, I'm gonna hear Macho Man 4 times. But thank you,
Mhm.
Macho Man. So I'm just gonna go down the card list.
Oh yeah!
All right, Macho, one more time, and then I wanna do this last segment, and that's it.
Oh yeah!
All right, cool. So AEW Full Gear once again is this Saturday, November 9th. So all right, so what I have here is Shawn Spears versus Joey Janela. Who do you guys pick to go over?
Sean.
Epic, who do you pick to go over?
I would like Spears to go over just to really turn his character into something. Otherwise, I'd say it'd be a waste.
Okay. Let's see. I have no idea who I'll pick. You know, Joey's cool. He's a cool guy in real life, but I need Shawn to turn over. So I am going to put my mark on him. The next one is the women's match. So you have Rio being the AEW Women's Champion versus Emi Sakura. Who do you guys have going over in that match?
I'm pretty sure
I
they're gonna
have
have
Rio
going
going
default.
over since she just won the championship.
All right, so it's gonna be Rio for both of you guys.
Yeah.
Me, I'm gonna end up being neutral only because I want to see how it plays out. I don't know too much about Rio and I don't know too much about Emmy, so I can't really make a decision at this point in time. The next one is the triple threat match for the AEW Tag Team Championship. It's going to be SCU, which is the team of Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky versus Lucha Bros and versus Private Party. Who do you guys have going over in this match?
SCU. Well, I'm thinking from an analytical perspective that I think just it makes sense for SCU to win it, but I feel it's gonna be a classic of a match.
All right, so Epic for SCU. Gio, who do you have?
Uh, I don't know at the moment. I'm just gonna watch the match on
So you're gonna be neutral.
neutral. Yes.
For me, as much as I enjoy SCU and their bits on YouTube, not again. Come on, it's the end of the show. Awesome. I want to see the Lucha Bros actually take the belts and run mayhem in AEW. That's what I want to see happen. All right, so our next match would be our unsanctioned lights out match, which is Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley. Um, I'm just gonna say it. My pick is Kenny. My pick is always gonna be Kenny. Just because I freaking adore the dude. But Epic, who do you have?
I feel like I want Moxley to go, but I feel like this match won't really favor anybody in terms of statistics, but obviously momentum is the sort of thing. But if they want, uh, again from an analytical standpoint, I feel like Omega will do a solid for Moxley, probably, hopefully, maybe, I don't know, but I feel like Moxley.
Okay, Gio, who do you have?
Moxley.
You have Moxley. Just one note on this match, because AEW is all about wins and losses. Because it's an unsanctioned lights out match, whoever wins or lose, this does not affect their overall scores and or regular singles scores for Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley. The next one, it will be the main event. It should maybe it it's Cody versus Jericho. Jericho is our AEW champion. I am staying out of this one because I adore both of them. So I'm not going to pick sides. I'm going to be neutral. In that case, who do you guys pick?
I don't clear some
You're breaking up
of
again,
the
dude.
stipulation. I'm doing the walk. I'm neutral.
Okay. Epic.
I feel like Jericho's gonna go over. Only because I feel like this match. I would have to watch it to find out, but I feel like the way that it's going right now, unless they have something really really great planned out, like skill set wise in the ring, I don't feel like it's gonna be that great of a thing, and I feel like Jericho's reign should be a lot more lengthier than it is right now.
So do you
So
want to go
do you
neutral?
want to go neutral?
Probably
Probably
gonna
gonna
go
go
to neutral.
Oh my god. This is like
Oh
the
my god,
ending
this is like the
and it's
ending
messing up.
and it's messing up.
All right, quickly.
All right, quickly.
Santana Ortiz,
Santana Ortiz,
Santana and Ortiz
Santana
versus the
and
Young
Ortiz
Bucks.
versus the Young Bucks.
Oh my god.
Ooh,
Probably my mic.
that's
Oh, we're good.
gonna be good.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna remain neutral on this one, even though like I feel like LAX, but both teams could go, and it's gonna be a great match.
All right. So I got you as neutral. Gia, who'd you pick?
I'm gonna say probably ends in no contest.
Ends in a no contest.
It might end in a no. There might not be a winner.
Okay, so I'm gonna
But
keep you in the neutral with that note.
all right.
Let's see. As much as I enjoy LAX, I'm just gonna stand behind the Young Bucks to probably win. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then we have the other women's match, which is gonna be on the buy-in part of the pay-per-view, which is Britt Baker versus B Priestley. I am not too fond of B. So my pick is gonna be Britt. What do you guys have?
I'm going
Who are you going with?
Britt.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the B.
Okay. All right. So, we are getting down to the final couple of minutes. I did write down in my notebook, who's neutral, who got their pick and stuff like that. And we'll see throughout the night on Full Gear, like who was right, who was wrong, and then we could definitely talk about it on the Tuesday episode of this podcast, which is usually on there. We are not going to get to AEW Dark. It was just 3 matches. But yeah, I'm not really going to get into that. But I did want to mention that I enjoyed MJF on commentary.
MJF was freaking gold on that mic. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was like, wow, man. Okay, you're making me
It
to
helped
start like you.
compensate for that dead crowd.
Yeah, it really did. It really, really did. Which I really enjoy that. Cool. Do you guys want to say any final words?
Thank you for joining us. If you us for the first 5 episodes.
Epic, you want to say anything?
Okay, I thought he was gonna keep going.
I think he was done.
Okay. I mean, guys, thank you so much for the support for the first 5 episodes here so far. I mean, if you guys want to hear us cover anything, what areas we should improve, what we're doing great on, please let us know in the comments. Whether you're on Twitter, whether you're on YouTube, because we would love to, as much as we love for us to kind of keep rambling on, but your input will actually help us improve content over time. So please be kind, give us some great feedback, and we'll definitely take it into consideration going in our podcast moving forward. In the meantime, we do enjoy putting out this content for you guys. So thank you so much for your love and support so far. Just stay forward, stay tuned, and keep supporting us moving forward.
Yep, that was wonderfully said by Epic. Originally this was supposed to be streamed over on DLive, YouTube, and LinkedIn just to reach out to some more people. On our YouTube channel, we are growing. We have 18 subscribers there. Since I'm streaming on DLive, I will leave the link in the comments for you guys to go over to YouTube and subscribe to there as well if you want to. But this is a team effort. So it's myself, it's Epic, it's GL, and we have Alpha Russ. Unfortunately, Alpha Russ is stuck at work, so Alpha Russ could not be with us. But when he is, he's great with us. I wish we could have went a little further and a little deeper, but we're not doing that today. I do enjoy that at least DLive worked and you guys got the chance to actually hear and see this podcast. Yes, this is episode 5. I will make it apparent to upload episodes 2, 3, and 4, and also 5 onto our uploads part. For those of you watching this on YouTube, DLive is a decentralized streaming platform that we are totally on. We are partner with DLive. So if you ever got confused about, who I'm talking to, why someone donated an ice cream, why someone donated a lemon. So they kind of help support the channel that way. If you guys want to create a DLive account, just let me know, leave it in the comments. But there will be a video updating about what happened because it was a mess. This is why I am declaring that episode 5 is the greatest episode of the Square Circle podcast, the best podcast you'll ever hear for the end of the year because of the mess-ups and the mistakes. And we can only improve with your feedback and support. We totally enjoy having you guys here, and I think I thought my OBS was going to crash on me. See, everything that's messing up. But we love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you again on Tuesday. Have a wonderful night, guys.